If we haven't met yet, I'm Rachel Bourne, and I help people and companies rethink the way they do work. I spent the last 2 decades helping companies and people navigate change and shifts. I started as an architect, literally designing the places around us, really focused a lot on workplace as well. And over time, my career took a turn and went from working on building systems and really started to work on people systems. Now I'm a talent strategist, talent architect, if you even wanted to call it that. I've been working at the intersection of workplace and people and systems and technology, and I can't wait to share it with you. There's a term called VUCA. If you don't know, it's VUCA, but it stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Something I learned when I was in grad school at Thunderbird, and it really kind of blew my mind with some of the skills that they were talking about we would need for the future, and that we were not only in a VUCA world, but it was going to get increasingly more volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So how do you stay ahead in a world like this? I really think the key to it is agility and navigating through change. And frankly, it can feel like a shit show. But when you really have those skill sets and you can see what is coming to some degree, I think it can get us out of that reactive and exhaustive state that people are in. And we can be more proactive and planful. There is no playbook for ambitious professionals like you, and we're going to figure this out together. So when you think about the future of work, it's not just about the work we're doing and how we're doing it with technology. You've got this technological change for sure, but then you have all of this global political economy, geoeconomic fragmentation that is happening right now. There's a lot of economic uncertainty. We are seeing very big demographic, particularly age-related shifts in the workplace. You have environmental sustainability and kind of this green transition that is really happening. And individually, all of those are big, right? But in combination, these are major drivers that are going to shape our work and transform it globally through the next 5 years. Why this podcast and why now? We are living through one of the biggest transformations in human history, in my opinion. And not only that, it's one of the fastest at the speed of digital. I have been feeling the pull for sharing my knowledge for a while, but I didn't have the time and the bandwidth to learn all these new, camera skills, the microphone, things that I just hadn't had the opportunity to learn yet in my career. And I've had now some time to process what I have been learning and begin to package it up in ways that are a little more digestible. I also see that people are really navigating it alone, which is why you also see things like explosions of training on YouTube. As an HR insider and as someone who's been studying these workforce trends and changes for quite some time, I want to be able to translate this new world of work for you into actionable strategies so that we can be proactive together and reduce our burnout and the exhaustion that it takes to move through change. So this isn't just another career podcast. There are some amazing ones. And to be honest, I will probably link you guys to them. There are amazing job hunters and recruiters that are out there creating content on social media. I love them. And frankly, I learn from them every day. So I want you to think about this as your Reader's Digest for professionals. I'm kind of your editor and I'm learning beside you. This season, we're going to focus on 4 main topics. But as we go, I also, it's really important to me that this is a conversation. Your feedback will shape where we take this next. I do really want to open on a few things. So the first few episodes, we're going to frame the podcast and kind of how we're going to tackle it. One of the most important things to me is that you have actionable strategies that you can walk out from this podcast and deploy in your own daily life.
Whether you're a payroll pro or an employee wanting to understand your paycheck better, we've got you covered. Tune into It's About Payroll for expert insights on payroll trends and compliance, or Check out It's About Your Paycheck, the go-to podcast for employees looking to understand their pay and rights. 2 great shows, 2 great hosts. Listen now, brought to you by Work Defined, where payroll meets clarity.
First, we are going to break down the biggest shifts that are happening in the workforce. What's real, what's hype, what actually matters for your career. I actually have been doing a lot of analysis on what all of the analysts said 2025 is going to look like. So I've got a great, stack of that. And then at the end of the year, we're going to see who was right. Second, we are going to drive into career strategy, how to pivot, how to navigate. How do you just make bold moves in your career, no matter what's happening on the job market? Third, I really want to explore the technology side of things, maybe give you guys some AI and emerging tools that you really should think about using and how to use them in to your advantage instead of constantly playing catch up. I've been testing all sorts of new things since I've had some time, and there are some tools I'm really loving, and it's really changing how I work and my workflows. Fourth, we are going to talk about how to grow your career without burning out, right? So you have work and life, and those life demands get really big. You may have aging parents, you may have young children. Success doesn't mean much if you're too exhausted and too thin to enjoy it. So, how do we navigate all of this change and keep learning and growing as professionals without burning out? Finally, I am going to cover some key job market trends and real-time work shifts that really just can't be ignored, in particular with the federal government and how those things are shifting. It's really changing what the workforce dynamics looked like even in just January. So this isn't about fear-mongering or clickbait. This is about how do we know what is realistically happening outside so that we can build our own strategies together and deploy those and be successful, well-balanced professionals as we move forward. I know what it feels like to have your career shift overnight, maybe something you've been building for years. And I also know the power of taking control back. So every week, I am going to be here with real strategies, real talk, real experts, and we'll navigate it together. So I have one giant question for you is what matters to you? Are there problems that you're really struggling with? Do you have big questions you just haven't really been able to get an answer for? I'm building the rest of the programming through the end of the year. I am bringing on some incredible guests who really know their stuff. And so I can't wait for these conversations. We're going to start those in April. And I really need to know, what is the biggest challenge you're facing at work right now? And let me build some of that content and bring you some solutions. So we're going to tackle this all together. This is the Shift Show, and we're going to get some shift done.